Harvey, I hope they're not hard questions.
They're not really hard questions. The first one is, who inspired you to play football?
Well, I'm really old. Like you're probably thinking I look quite good for my age and young, but I am actually quite old. So these players that I'm about to say to you, you probably won't know. But the first one was a guy called Brian Gunn. So he used to play in goal. He was a goalkeeper for Norwich in the 80s and 90s. So if after this, if you can get hold of YouTube, try and search for Brian Gunn. He was a brilliant goalkeeper. He actually made, I mean, I should be talking about the good things he done here, but he actually made a mistake against Ipswich where he went to play, he had a back pass to him and he went to play it away and it bobbled over his foot and it went in. And he's sort of more remembered for that than the great goalkeeper he was. So he was one.
I know who he is.
You do know who he is? Excellent.
Yeah, I used to like watch some YouTube clips about him.
Yeah, he was really good. Well, if you know who he is, you will probably know my other hero, who was Peter Schmeichel. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
So he's Casper's dad. You obviously know Casper Schmeichel. You know he plays for Leicester. So he's actually Peter, the dad. He's actually way better than Casper was. So Peter Schmeichel was the best goalkeeper when I was growing up. He's probably the best goalkeeper I've ever seen. So it was those two. So I'd probably say Peter Schmeichel was the one who made me want to be a goalkeeper.
Number two, what was your favourite stadium that you have been to?
So as in watched, do you mean watched football or actually played football in?
Both.
Both. So apart from, I'll do the played one first. So apart from Derham's home ground, which as you know is an amazing ground for local football, I've actually got two others. So Goulston, I don't know, have you ever been across to Goulston, Emerald Park? Would you have played there at all? No. So Goulston have got a lovely little ground. So they play in a league which is one below the one that Derham play in. And it's called Emerald Park. And it's a lovely little non-league stadium. So it's got sort of seating the whole way around it. So it's really lovely. So you feel like you're enclosed and playing in a bigger stadium than you actually are. And then I've also played at Carrow Road a few times as well. I don't count how many times, but in case you're wondering, it's 4 times and I've won each time I've played there. So that's 4 winners' medals I've got from the Senior Cup. So I've played there as well. So that's really exciting. And the best thing about playing there is the pitch is always immaculate. So we normally play there just after Norwich finish their season. So the grass is amazing and it makes such a difference. The only bad thing with that is if you make a mistake, you haven't got any excuses then. You've sort of only got to blame yourself. So that's one bad thing. And watched is probably, I really like the new Wembley. So I've been to the new Wembley a couple of times to watch England. So I like going there. That's a favourite of mine. Have you ever been there? Have you ever been to the new Wembley?
No, I've never been to Wembley, but I've been to Tottenham, the new Tottenham.
Have you? Mark's happy with that. Look, Mark's obviously a Tottenham fan.
I went to the cup game.
Who are they playing?
They're playing against Tottenham. Tottenham are playing against Norwich.
Oh, right. Oh, excellent. So that's the one that Norwich won, that game, the penalty game. Ah. And what time did you get home that night? But that was a late one.
Like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Did you? And did you make school the next day, or were you sick?
I was sick.
Good lad. That's a good excuse. If you're going to have an excuse, have that one.
Question 3. What team do you support?
Well, I always look out for Norwich's results, obviously, but the other one, weirdly, is Arsenal. And I have no reason why, and Mark is not happy now. He's not so happy about that answer, but yeah, I have no idea why. Just growing up, I've got all these pictures of me in an old Arsenal JVC kit, and I have no idea why I picked Arsenal. I think it was probably a hand-me-down kit, but another goalkeeper who was good from that era was David Seaman. I'm not sure if you've heard of him.
No.
No, so he was an Arsenal goalkeeper and he played for England as well, and he was a really good goalkeeper, so it might have been because of him. But yeah, apart from Arsenal, obviously Norwich, I always look for their result as well, so it's probably out of those two.
Do you play other sports?
I try to play other sports. Now, I wish I had, and a bit of advice for you is I know you obviously love football, but you should also try your hand at every sport you can whilst you're at your age, because I think it helps you learn a few different things that later on in life will help you out. So even though I'm sure you were like me as a kid, football is your number one. If you can play more sports, I would recommend doing so. I never did, so I was just all about football and that was it. But I love tennis, and I love snooker, and I try and play those, but I'm not very good at them. In fact, I'm pretty rubbish. But I wish when I was your age, I would have played a lot more. Uh, so do you have another sport? Do you play another sport, or is it just football at the minute?
It's not really. It's like a hobby. It's not really a sport. It's like it's baseball.
Baseball,
I
really?
sometimes go over to the park and play
Ah,
baseball.
nice. Yeah, I
And
can't say.
so, and I went to Boston as well.
No, what, and watch the game?
I didn't watch a game, but I sat on the Green Monster.
Ah, that's cool. So I went and watched. Is it Toronto? They've got a team, I believe. I can't remember what they're called, but I watched
Yeah.
a game in Toronto once. The only thing with baseball is it goes on for a long time, doesn't it? Sort of goes on for about 6 hours, and I get a bit bored then. Have you ever hit? Is it a home run? You ever hit a home run?
Um. No.
No. Well, so after this, what you should do is you should practice goalkeeping a lot, and then also practice baseball as well. Good lad.
Do you have any advice for younger goalkeepers?
Yeah, I would say the number one advice, and I think everyone would offer you this, no matter if you're a goalkeeper or an outfield player, is just to train really hard. So just do as much as you can, and you've got to enjoy it. So make sure you have fun when you train with your team, but try and take it a little bit seriously as well. So part of that also means being a little bit critical of yourself and seeing what you need to improve on. And I look back to when I was younger, and I never tried to improve upon what I wasn't very good at. I sort of just done the thing I was good at. So what I then ended up doing was doing the thing I was good at more, and the thing I was not so good at not a lot. So you don't ever improve on it. So if there are things and parts of your game that you don't think are as good as the other part, I would say practice more at those, and then hopefully you'll then marry up, and by the end, by the time you get to my age, you'll be a very, very good goalkeeper. You'll be way better than I am. So I would say practice a lot is key.
What sport did you play when you were a child?
So yeah, like I said, it was literally just football. So I remember. So how old are you now, Harvey?
I'm 10.
You're 10. So I remember when I was your age, I would literally just go to a field with some mates. I grew up in a little village called Ludham. And I just would go to my playing field with all my friends, and they would literally just kick balls at me all afternoon, and that's all we ever did. So it was always football, which I'm sure you're the same. So, but like I said, Joe, I wish I had a play because I love tennis. I love tennis to bits, but I never had a chance to play it. So that was pretty much all I ever did was football.
Which is your least favourite team in the Premier League?
Least favorite. Oh, that's a really easy one. That one. Mark thinks I'm going to go with Tottenham, but it's not. It's actually Liverpool. I just don't like Liverpool. I love the way they play, so I should love them, but I just don't know why. But I don't like them. I can't explain why it is, but whenever they're on TV, I can't really watch them, and when they're on Match of the Day, I sort of skip that game as well. So I'd go with Liverpool. I'm interested to know what yours is.
Mine is Sheffield United
Sheffield United. Why is that?
because
Is it because
I
have they,
play
beat, have they beaten Norwich in the past? Is that why? I mean, a lot of teams have beaten Norwich, but
yeah.
yeah, is that why?
I mean, we drew against Arsenal, so
Oh, did you? You got that one in there, didn't you? Yeah, but to be fair, we're not very good at the minute. I say we, but Arsenal aren't very good at the minute. If you had to pick another team to support, though, who would you pick?
probably,
Ipswich?
probably, no, not Ipswich, and not Tottenham.
Yeah, not Tottenham either. Nah.
Probably, Man City.
Yeah, good pick. Yeah, they've got a good team, haven't they? Who would you pick, just quickly, Edison or De Gea? Which one?
Edison.
Good man.
Are you still training during lockdown? If not, how are you keeping fit?
I better be careful with this answer, seeing though the chairman's on this call. But so it's been a little bit hard to do goalkeeper stuff, Harvey. So I haven't really. In fact, I don't think I've really kicked a football since our last game. So I haven't done a lot of goalkeeping bits, but I do like to try and keep fit. So I've been going on runs. So as much as I don't like running, I think as goalkeepers we don't really like the fitness part, do we? Are you the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really like that part, do we? So I've been doing little runs here and there. I've got a little weight station, so I like going to the gym, which I can't obviously do at the minute, but I've got some weights in my garden, which I use as well. And I actually like, it might surprise you, but I really like skipping. So skipping is actually a really good sport to get fit. And I suggest if you've got a garden, get yourself a skipping rope, Harvey, and try and do some skipping.
I've got one right here.
There you go, good man. And what? Let's see it. And what that also will help with, Harvey, is it helps with your footwork. So nice light feet. Yeah, good stuff. Excellent. So you know how in football and goalkeeping, it's a lot of it's on your footwork. So that will help with your footwork. So I would say if you can, try and skip every day, and it will really help you get quick feet.
If you had to play for Norwich or Ipswich, who would it be and why?
I think I'd pick Ipswich. The reason why is a lot of my friends are Norwich fans, and it would just make them really mad. And I'd quite enjoy that. I think I'd quite enjoy the fact that I could play with Ipswich. And then when we play Norwich, and if we then beat Norwich, I could have a good laugh. You don't think that'll happen? No, you don't think that's going to happen? No, it might not, but I think I'd probably pick Ipswich.
Not what I was going to thought you would say. If you were given the chance to choose a different position, what would it be and why?
That's actually a good question. So I would say I would be a striker. And the reason for that is, and you probably realize this being a goalkeeper, as a goalkeeper, the line between being a hero and a villain is obviously quite close. There's a narrow line. So with strikers, they can miss 10 chances, can't they? And you've probably got a striker in your team who's the same. So they can miss 10 chances and no one will say anything to them. They'll just keep saying, good, try again, don't worry about it. And then they'll score on their 10th try and everyone will love them. Whereas for us, we can make 9 amazing saves and then we can make one little mistake, but we'll always be remembered for the mistake, won't we? No one will remember the great saves we made. So I would say I'd probably be a striker because it's not an easy. It's hard to score goals, but they sort of get away with a lot, don't they? Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I play up front as well. I play up
front
as well.
So have you actually picked a position yet, or are you still considering which way you're going to go?
I haven't really chose one yet, but I would probably pick goalkeeper more. But,
so last season, did you play more in goal than outfield?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how many times did you play outfield? Can you remember?
No, twice.
Twice. And did you score any?
I scored one in goal. I scored a goal in goal. It was futsal when I was in my box and I just smashed it.
Good stuff.
And it went top corner.
I was actually going to ask you if you've ever scored whilst playing in goal. I haven't, by the way. No, I haven't. No, I nearly did. So I'll tell you this quickly, this story. So I was playing at Carrow Road again. We ended up winning the game. I'll just get that one in. And we were playing. So I was playing for Wroxham at the time. So I used to play for Wroxham, and we were playing Dereham in a final. And our assistant manager, Ollie, he was a defender for Dereham at the time. And Wroxham, who I was playing for, we were losing the game. So we were losing 2-1. And I went up for a corner and it was the 90th minute. So they thought, you know, sometimes when they send a goalkeeper up for a corner to try and score. So I went up, the corner comes in and the ball drops to me and I hit one on my left foot. And it's the best strike I've ever made on my left foot because I can't kick with my left foot. It's pretty bad considering my right foot's okay. And anyway, this ball I hit was going towards the top corner and Ollie stuck his hand out and saved it. And he was a defender. He's not a goalkeeper, and he stopped it from going in. So he handballed it. We did then get a penalty. So we got the penalty. Ollie got sent off. We then scored to go 2-2, and we ended up winning the game 3-2. So it was very good. But I nearly scored, but didn't. Is that an extra bonus question, that one, or was that on your sheet?
Yeah, that was on my thing.
Oh, okay.
On notes.
Have you got any more?
No, there's no more.
That's it. Wow. Well, good stuff, mate. Really good questions. And like I say, all I would say is if you ever want any advice, I'm always here to talk to. But it is just if you wanna get really good, just practice a lot. It's just all about practicing. Because and I think you asked me about what position I'd go. I honestly think the goalkeeper is the hardest position to play. So great stuff for doing it, and keep going.
Any questions for me?
Let's have a think. I mean, I've asked you a few, haven't I? Let's have a think. Let's have a quick think. So, when did you start playing football?
When I was like 4.
And were you a goalkeeper then, or were you playing outfield?
I was playing outfield.
And you've always played for Durham?
That was my first team, yeah.
Yeah. And where would you like to play in the future? So if it wasn't for Norwich, do you have a dream team that you'd like to play for?
Yeah.
Who would that be?
Man City.
Man City.
Or Liverpool.
So you're going to replace Edison, right?
Yeah.
Good. As long as you don't replace me at Durham, because I think I've got another 5 or 6 years in me, and you'll be about that age then. So if you come along and take my spot, I'm not going to be very happy with you. All right?
Okay.
Good. Excellent. What we'll also do, mate, as well is I'll speak with Ash or Ben. I've got some gloves that I haven't really used. So I've got a lot of gloves left over. So I'll get some gloves sent over to you that I use. So I use a really nice Roche glove. So it's a yellow neon because I wear yellow boots. So everything matches with me. So they probably won't fit you yet. But what we'll do is you can grow into them. And they're really good, expensive, sticky ones. They're very good. So you can see what they're like. All right. So I'll get them sent over to you and you can have a look and see what those gloves are like.
Thank you.
No probs, mate. What gloves do you wear?
I wear they're Nike ones.
Nike ones. What have you got on there?
I think I'll try and get one.
I hope you clean them. Do you keep them clean?
I clean them. Yeah, I don't think if they're clean now. Yeah, they're not very clean, so I went over them.
Ah, nice. Look at them.
They're very dirty.
So the key is to keep them in good condition. After every game, give them a wash, a hand wash.
And these are my old boots.
Ah, they go well with my kit. What size are they? You're size 10. Can I have them?
These are size 5.
Size 5. All right. Well, they won't fit me, so you can keep them. All right.
And they're my pink gold gloves as well.
Ah, nice.
They were orange, but now they look pink.
Do you keep all your gloves, all your old gloves?
Yeah, I keep some in the garage and I keep some down here.
Nice.
Like where all my other gloves are.
So I always have 3 pairs of gloves, right? So I have 1 pair of gloves that are training gloves. I then have another pair of gloves that I warm up in, and then I have another pair of gloves that I then play the game in. So I always have 3 gloves on the go.